Hey guys, so I asked you guys if you want to see a video about me going over my loadout and like the weapons I use, modifications on them, type of Valor surges I use and stuff like that. So here we are. I'm going to be explaining that in this video. I'm going to obviously be commenting on this video as I'm already doing, duh, but I feel like it'd be more interesting if I tried to explain, I guess, kind of thoughts behind certain coils and stuff, because I don't know, I just thought it'd be interesting if I talked about it a little bit. So yeah, let's get into it. I will most likely not be commenting on a lot of my videos, but occasionally I might, you know, if you guys enjoy it. But if you guys never want to hear my stupid voice again, that's also just as good in my book. Alright, so let's start with my weapons. Alright, so let's start with my primary weapon, the Deathseeker Shadow, as most everybody who plays this game uses in like the end game level. Pretty much all the weapons I have in my loadout are legendary, like legendary variants, as you've probably seen if you watched any of my other videos, especially the ones where I take off all my weapons beforehand, except for a single weapon that I'll use, usually Deathseekers, or recently the card's Bane, which is still the upgrade. But anyway, so this bow, I really like this bow because in Zero Dawn, I would primarily use Hunter arrows because I did so many New Game Pluses and acquired so many of the really powerful Banuk coils for my Banuk bow that the hardpoint arrows would just kill things too quickly for my taste, right? Because I play this game for fun and I like long drawn out fights because they're more interesting to me. I honestly don't care about being good or killing things as quick as possible, which might trigger some people, but hey, if it triggers you, don't watch. But anyway, so this one is primarily focused on just pure damage. So I've got an impact 12% coil, an overdraw 15% damage coil, a draw speed 25% to, draw it quickly because, it's very nice to like get it quicker when I'm about to get slapped across the face by a slaughter spine instead of only having like a half power arrow hit him in the face. Also, sorry for any background noise. I do have a family, so sorry if you hear any background noise. It's probably just my little brother, so just ignore it. Hopefully you can't hear it at all, but I don't know. Anyway, enough sidetracks. I got another impact damage 12% just to boost the damage even farther, so 24% overall impact damage plus. And I got an extra tear damage for when I want to tear off components, so for like upgrading with stuff, which I haven't been doing recently because I want to save upgrading the rest of my stuff for a live stream, which my internet has not allowed. But yeah, God, I'm gonna ramble on this video. My apologies. So yeah, I do like the shock arrows. They're pretty effective, and they are good against Tide Rippers and hunting parts off of those. But in general, they're pretty good for the shock arrows are pretty good for like if I want to tear off a part, but the thing keeps moving because yeah, it's annoying when they move a lot. But yeah, the max upgrade got bonus perks of you got 25% shock enemy damage, so if an enemy shocked, you'll do extra damage. You got the overdraw damage already inherent, so the coil plus the inherent one is like, let's see, 15 plus 25, that's an extra 40%, right? So it's 40% overdraw damage. We got a 5% critical hit chance, 40% knockdown damage, so if an enemy gets knocked over or stunned, it's an extra 40 damage and critical hit damage. So I'll go in the order of how we use them, actually. So the next bow I use primarily is the Forge Fall, which is like the sharp shot bow. Like the sniper bow, as I call it. So this is, again, primarily focused on damage, as you can probably tell just by looking at the coils. It's got 200, I should actually, hold on. So for my Deathseeker, if you're like just only listening, I don't know. It's got 86 impact damage and 312 tear. And then the Forge Fall I have is 299 impact damage and 514 tear. I don't usually use plasma arrows. Because I don't really use, I do use plasma arrows when I'm using the, I can also go over weapon techniques I use as well. I'll do that as well. But, God, I'm coming up with this on the fly if you can tell. But I usually don't use plasma arrows like normally. I usually use them for the braced shot, but that's about it. I don't like to use this bow a lot either, mostly because to make the arrows is very expensive. But obviously I still have it because it's very powerful. So coils I have sharp shot tear damage 100%, so that's very good for tearing off components. It's very nice. And then I have a draw speed 25% just to help it draw a little faster because to get the overdraw is a little slow. I don't even know if that improves overdraw, but oh well. If it doesn't, it at least gets the initial one out of the way quicker. Impact damage, 212%, obviously, just to boost up that damage. And then a tear percent, an additional 12%. And then perks it comes with already has 65% draw speed increase, so I've got a actually huge draw speed increase on this, so it's really nice. Concentration damage, so you do extra damage in concentration, which is really pretty nice. Overdraw damage, aerial enemy damage, which I've never actually used one of these arrows against the flying machine because I'm so worried about missing. And then shocked enemy damage as well, just like the Death Seeker Shadow. So yeah, this bow, really good for sniping things at long range and just getting a lot of big damage as well. Like, doing something in a brittle state and hitting it with this is like, it's a pretty powerful blow. It's not as powerful as like the near one-shot stealth build that everyone does, which I say near one-shot because it got nerfed, although I still think you can one-shot. Anyway, it doesn't matter to me. I don't use it. So, let's see. I think the thing I use, like the weapon I use the most often after the sharp shot bow would be the Sky Killer, so the spike thrower. So this I use this weapon technique a lot, the split spike. I'll go over in more detail why I like each one later, but this one I use mostly for just high damage and just, you know, usually when I'm getting like frustrated or like the fight's getting too long and I'm like, okay, I need to end this, or I just want to do a big chunk of damage and I have something like a brittle state. That's what I use it for. It's also, I feel like it'd be good for like plasma buildup with like a high damage. I usually just use hunter arrows for that, but I feel like it'd be good for like a one hit, get a high plasma buildup on something. But yeah, I usually use the normal spike just because the advanced one's very expensive, but I've never used a fire spike, so. But anyway, let's go over the coils I have. I have knockdown power 15%. Not entirely sure why. I should probably switch that at some point, but I have it here for now. It's probably because it's nice to like knock down a machine, have it blow up, and then maybe get a critical strike in if it's still knocked down. So I guess that's why I had it initially. Explosive damage, 12%, obviously, just deals much explosive damage as possible. I got 2 of those. I have an instant explosion chance on here, which makes no sense in hindsight, because when I first put this coil on, I didn't entirely understand what they meant. I mean, I kind of understood what the instant fire and brittle chance meant, but I didn't know what like explosion chance meant, because I'm like, okay. But I feel like this would be better on like my hunter bow or something, because instant explosion on a normal arrow, right? But I have it on here because obviously it's an explosive weapon, so I thought, oh, I'll put it on an explosive thing. It's like, it doesn't really make sense though, because it just explodes anyway. I guess it, oh, I don't know why I didn't rehearse this video, but I think it means like, instead of, because spike throwers, I have a delay on their explosion, obviously. Duh, I don't know why I'm explaining this, but I think it means they'll explode instantly instead of having a delay. Maybe that's what it means. Actually, yeah, I think I'm not realizing that that's what it is, because I think I'm remembering times where like the split spike I would throw would instantly explode in one big spike instead. Anyway, I also have a critical hit jam. Freaking forgive my lack of English language skills, but I do have a critical hit chance as well for 50% because might as well just increase that. And then the perks it comes with, reload speed at 25%, aerial enemy damage at 40%, 15% overdraw damage, 65% draw speed, and 25% burning enemy damage. So this is the one I use. Like, this is 3rd place in my ranking for the weapons I use the most, as you can tell by the fact that they're max upgraded. Now we get on to the other one. So I have this is like the last one I use a lot, is the Sun Scourge. Yeah, the Sun Scourge, which is another legendary bow. Really quickly, so Death Seeker Shadow you get from the arena. This you get from killing, this is what you get from doing all the banded bases. It's a large one. Bandit camp, rebel camps. That's the one. So if you do all those and then do the side quest and kill the like final boss, I won't say who it is or spoilers or anything, but once you kill the final boss and loot the body, then you get this bow, the Sun Scourge. It's an elemental type bow, which is really nice. So the arrows are like high elemental damage, and it's really nice to like, because like in Zero Dawn, I would mostly use fire against like Glintox mostly. But it's really nice that these arrows can do like an instant like one arrow fire like thing. I said that so poorly. You can instantly light something on fire with one arrow. It's really nice. I haven't used it a lot recently, so don't know if that got nerfed recently. I heard that it did, but it might have been fixed. I'm not sure. But let's look at the coils I have. I have an acid and fire, 12%, just because it's really nice that you can boost both with one coil. And it was also new at the time, so I was like, I'll put it on here because I have nothing else. But yeah, I really like that. I got instant brittle chance, so because all of these cause volatile sludge, so it is nice to be able to have at least a small chance to get it in one hit, like get the frost in with one arrow, and it saves a bit of resources. I also have the same for the fire arrow, or instant burning chance, 4%. Again, for the same reasons, it's nice to just save a bit of resources. I have a frost 50% and an additional acid and fire 12%. Neglecting frost a little bit here, even though I shouldn't, because it's actually the one I used the most recently. I use it a lot against like large machines sometimes. So like, I think the biggest thing I've used it against is like Apex Slaughter Spines and like Fire Claws and Apex Fire Claws, because getting the sack webbing on a Fire Claw is a pain. Anyway, and then the perks it comes with: instant brittle chance, agility damage, 25%. Which this is when falling or sliding, which I never really use. Like, I find that a little pointless. Like, as like a perk, it's fine or whatever, but it's like, I don't know, I don't really see the point in it. But anyway, we got 50% overdrive damage, 25% reload speed, and 40% aerial enemy damage. So those are perks on that. Next up, let's say the warrior. Let's go with the warrior bow. I'll say it because this is the one I've been using a bit recently. So it's only got one upgrade, so it's not that powerful. But what I have on it for now is an instant burning chance, 4%, because why not? I should change it to an instant brittle chance because that would be some bonus damage, but I haven't done that yet. So yeah, for now it's an instant burning chance. I could probably change it right now. Never mind, it's taken. But yeah, I could probably put an instant frost chance or brittle chance on here. I got a tear for 12% for, I guess, for tearing off armor. I feel like this would, to tear off armor so it can deal more direct damage, because this thing's not really a precise aim, so going for weak spots is something I need to get used to not doing with this bow, because it's, again, not that precise. It's more just like freezing and spamming, but if you're using this bow only, it's just kind of, it's nice to tear off a bit of armor. And then because I didn't have a lot of impact, like purple impact coils at the time, I have a 10% on, so we'll change that real quick to that's a high ground. Freaking Obi-Wan would love that coil. But anyway, yeah, here. So a 12% impact damage, just, you know, some extra damage. When I upgrade it more, I will probably put some more tear and damage on it. Probably more damage and like one more tear. So yeah, just one more of each, just to get it a bit more powerful. And then the perks I have unlocked for now are 10% agility damage and 10% corroding enemy damage. But then it's got 10% knockdown power with future level ups and then melee follow-up. Whew, excuse me. And then melee follow-up damage is the last one. So, and then the last part of my loadout, which I could probably switch up, but because it's a bit redundant with the Sky Killer, is the Wings of the Ten Blast Sling. Right, I need to mention. So to get the Carge's Bane, you got to complete all the races, and then you earn it. Once you beat the last one, like get first place, you get it in the chest. Forgefall, arena weapon. Blast Sling, you collect all the black boxes and give them to the merchant in the Memorial Grove. Tripcaster is from getting like max score in all of the hunting grounds. And then Sky Killer is a side quest that you get in Legacy's Landfall from some sisters. Blast Forge is also a I don't know why I'm explaining these, but I'll just really quickly for those who are curious, because I know some people ask it. I mean, not really anymore, but just in case. Blast Forge is from the arena, and this is from returning all the ornaments. They get ruins to the guy in the desert in Las Vegas. I'm forgetting the settlement name, but you turn to him. Anyway, so last but not least is the Wings of the Town, which is also only one upgrade level, because I want to save it for a live stream, because I feel like it'd be fun. Kind of like how Raptor does it, or did it at one point. But cores I have on are a 12% adhesive, which I will switch to a 15% adhesive. So two 50% adhesives, because I mostly use this for adhesive bombs, because I don't really use it for blast bombs, because I have the Sky Killer for my explosives. But just in case I do have an explosive damage 12%. So I'll probably add, once I upgrade it, another explosive damage one, and then a adhesive, just because, you know, it's nice to have a bit of extra blast damage, and also, you know, since I'm primarily doing adhesive, just have as much adhesive as possible, but still not sacrificing like the blast damage for when I use it. And then perks that it has with one upgrade is 3% critical chance, 50% critical hit damage, 50% overdraw damage, and then you got 50% close range damage once you upgrade it later, which that might actually be nice because of the weapon perk I have on it, or weapon technique. And then the instant plasma blast chance, which seems pretty cool, actually. That sounds useful. I might upgrade this first over the Carja's Bane, the warrior bow. We'll see. But yeah, those are all my weapons. So next, let's go over my armor, or at least let's go over the two armors I would wear the most, right? So let's start with the armor I'm wearing currently, the Nora Anointed, the default armor, because I am a stickler for the design. I love this design so much. It's here. Get a nice view of it while I talk about why I'm wearing this. I love the design of this armor. It was my favorite design in Zero Dawn, not just because of the fact it was the most powerful armor, but I love the shield design. It was cool, but honestly, the armor underneath is like my favorite part. The combination of old technology, old as in like futuristic, like high, like advanced technology, that's the word I'm looking for, and like the old like leather and stuff, it's just so cool. And I love the side like the rib redesigns, I call it, like the kind of rib-esque look they got on the sides here, like that black with like I just love it so much. And I wore this for 90% of the campaign just because I like the look of it. I was like hunting for like a really cool looking better armor the whole time and just couldn't find one that I liked more than this, until the Nora Thunder Warrior, which I encountered in the arena. This is the only other here. Since I'm talking about designs, this is the only other armor that I really like the design of, and I find myself struggling between this armor and the Nora Anointed, or the Shield Weaver, as most people will know by it, because while this one's really powerful, I'm just obsessed with the design of the Shield Weaver. But this one's still really good too, so I was like, I don't know which one to pick. But yeah, these are two armors, so we'll go over upgrades I have on them real quick. So we'll start with the Nora Anointed. Here. Okay, so for the Nora Anointed, I have the highest melee range defense on it just to avoid getting one-shot by literally everything, because I am playing on hard by default, and I can prove it. I play on hard by default, I quote-unquote casually play on hard, which means basically when I'm just playing in my free time, I play on hard. I have played on very hard for like a few days without, like on accident, without knowing, in this armor, and I got one-shot a bit more often than I usually am, and then I realized, but yeah, so I do have I have the highest melee and range defense on this, which some people might see as a waste because, oh, it's the weakest armor in the game. It's like, I don't care. I like the armor. So it boosts it from 5% melee defense and 5% range defense to 15, so it's a bit better. To be honest, I wish this could still be recolored to the default color, because then it could have 25 of each, which would be a bit nicer, but I can't do that anymore, so this one just died to that. But anyway, perks it comes with is concentration regen +2, which it's all right. It's nice. It's nice to have. And then potent medicine +1, which is definitely nice in an armor where you take a lot more damage, which, yeah, it's pretty nice. And then the Nora Thunder Warrior. This is the armor that I should be wearing and that everyone else would be wearing, but I don't because I'm weird. But yeah, so I don't know why, but when I first got it, I swapped off the what was it? The coils it came with for the melee and range defense. They were blue ones. It was, I'm pretty sure, it was something with Valor Surge and, yeah, Valor Surge Master and Weapon Stamina +2. I replaced those, which I'll probably put back on at some point because I don't entirely need the extra defense, but for now I have these. I think the biggest thing was that I already had, I didn't really need it because I don't use Valor Surges very often. And the weapon stamina, again, I don't know. They're probably super beneficial and like make a big difference when I have them on. I'll notice that, but I don't know what it was. I just didn't feel like I needed them at the time because it's also when I was still adjusting to like what was new to this game. Like new machine types were the biggest thing because I was not mastered their moveset yet, so I was taking a lot more damage than I should have. I'd probably be more comfortable with taking these off now, but for back when I was using this armor a lot, I was taking a lot of damage still, so I had the increased defense, which put, melee defense at 65 and range defense at 75, which, again, I don't really need anymore, so I'll probably take them off and switch them probably before the end of this video, but yeah, so perks it comes with are 2% plus 2% concentration, so this increases how long you can be in concentration for, it's very, very noticeable. Like, I've noticed it a lot when using, like, when I switch from the Nora Anointed to the Nora Thunder Warrior, it's very noticeable. Like, it lasts significantly longer. And then there's +2 deep concentration, which is definitely the one I noticed, like, helps notice this one more, is this one. This one's very noticeable, is concentration depletes more slowly, prolonging use. Like, this is really good. This is why, like, everyone uses this armor when using, like, the hunter bows and stuff. It's very, very good. Not just hunter bows, but like weapons in general. Concentration regen, it regens faster, which obviously I don't pay enough attention because it already regens pretty quickly, so I just don't pay enough attention because I'm always, in the middle of the fight, but it is 400% recovery speed, so it's very fast. 2% stamina regen. This is why I took off the weapon technique, was it? Hold on. Actually, let me look at it. So it is weapon stamina, right? Increase the level of the weapon stamina, passive boost, which increases your weapon stamina a little bit, right? That's kind of why I took it off, is because it already has the stamina regen. So that's kind of was my justification for taking it off. I am probably going to put it back on because it probably makes a big difference. +2 stealth range, which is more impact damage in stealth, which is nice because I do stealth around some things like stalkers because I had a fear of them in my early days of Horizon Zero Dawn, and somehow that fear is still carried over despite me knowing how to kill them very effectively. And then +2 heavy weapons. So this is like disc launchers, spine tail lancers, and from like slaughter spines and stuff. So it's nice. I don't usually get to use those because I'm constantly having to dodge out of the way from the bloody machines, but it's nice when I get to use it. But yeah, those are the two armors I wear primarily. I primarily wear Nora Anointed, mostly because of looks only, but this one's also really cool, and it is much better and a very good armor overall. And this armor you do get from the arenas as well. This is just default, so everyone should have it. Alright, so next let's go over my weapon techniques that I use for each weapon. So, let me quickly replenish that. So for my hunter bow, I obviously use triple notch. Most people use triple notch. I mean, it was in Zero Dawn, it's very useful. Triple the damage with hunter arrows. Same thing for this one, the Sun Scourge. Just triple notch because it's like a fire bow. So for the Forge Full, I use the Brace Shot, which again, everyone uses. Large arrow, massive explosive damage, really nice. So for the Sky Killer, for the longest time, I would use the Propelled Spike, the one that launches long range. But but recently I've switched to Splitting Spike because I'm pretty sure Splitting Spike does more damage overall than the Propelled Spike. If someone knows better than me, which there's probably some people that do, there's probably plenty of people who are going to tell me how bad my Loadout is, which I don't care, but yeah, Splitting Spike, it does more damage overall, I think, and I've seen it's been a bit more effective because with the Propelled Spike, you miss and it's over. with the splitting spike, you have a lot more leeway because you, again, has a bunch of spikes splitting off and it hits. So that's why I use splitting spike. For the Wings of the Ten, I use the burst dodge because I feel like it's good for if something gets really up close and I kind of want to like back up a little bit and like use the thing at the same time and don't want to like get myself caught in it. It's nice to just quickly throw a bunch at once. For the Carter's Bane, now obviously I don't use it much, and it's a new weapon, right? The warrior bow. So for now I have burst fire, which is like 3 arrows, kind of like triple shot for the hunter arrow, but spread shot as well. It's kind of like a shotgun, and it's like 5. So I don't honestly know which one, but for now I stick with burst fire. And those are the techniques that I use with my weapons, right? You know, probably not the best ones, but I like them. I'm comfortable with them. You know, it's just my playstyle. It's just what I prefer to use. All right, now let's just talk about the Valor Surge I use. So the Valor Surge I use is the Overshield from Zero Dawn. Now, obviously, this isn't the best in the game. Many people have already described how, like Joe Raptor is a good example, have described how this Valor Surge is better overall. And, you know, there's other better Valor Surges in the other trees, like, for example, I don't think it's range, it's power shots in this one. Power shots, you know, Elemental Fury, Critical Boost. Like, all these ones are probably much better than this one. But I do use this one because it's nice. It's still pretty good. Like, it's not bad. It is pretty powerful. And I kind of prefer the more defensive boosts instead of, like, the short and simple answer, I miss the Shield Weaver shield. And while it was broken overpowered in Zero Dawn, I do like how in here it's kind of limited, and it feels a bit more balanced, you know. I like that. You know, I don't mind the fact that it's limited, you know. I kind of wish you could get the look back, like, at least the glowing lights back on the normal one, but I get it, you know. It's cool. It's nice that we even have it in the first place. And honestly, the biggest reason I use it is just because I miss the look of the shield, honestly. And, I mean, it is very useful, even though on harder difficulties, it's pretty much like 1 or 2 hits will knock it out. But it's like, I don't know, I just enjoy it. It's a nice defensive boost when I'm like caught in like a bad situation and I'm feeling overwhelmed. It's like it's a bit of a breather, and it's not too broken overpowered where like, I don't feel like it's the Valor Surge that got me out of a fight. I don't feel like, oh yeah, the only reason I'm out of the fight is because of the Valor Surge. You know, I just like the fact that it's like, oh yeah, it's just a bit to save my skin if I need it, but it's not so broken overpowered with like the Stealth Stalker like sniper shot when I'm in stealth, where like, oh, just insta kills, like, okay, Valor Surge is a free get out of jail free card. It's like, no, it's just a nice defense. And again, the shield look, freaking, just completes the look of the Shield Weaver that I'm already wearing. And again, another thing is that it also helps when you're wearing the default armor that takes a crap ton more damage compared to other armors. But, yeah, that's kind of it for my loadout. I mean, I don't think I've missed anything. But, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, I mean, just keep watching, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe, because, obviously, if you like the video, you will like it. I don't care if you do or not. If you want to subscribe, go for it. I don't care if you do or not either, though. I'm just doing this for the fun of it, and I'm glad you guys are along with. So, if you do enjoy the commentary, freaking me rambling, essentially, tell me, and I might do it a bit more often. I won't do it for every video, because my style is just mostly just like gameplay first and foremost. But if you guys enjoy the commentary, I'll maybe think about doing a fight or two. Maybe like every now and again I'll do a fight against a machine, like a Fireclaw or like a Slaughter Spine, and, you know, talk about like what goes through my head. It'll be live, so I'll probably be freaking inhaling sharply as I avoid getting killed, but I'll try my best. But, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll hopefully see you guys again soon. Try to upload a bit more consistently, but it's been a bit sporadic with life things getting in the way. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.